Hey, let's go. Get in here. Get in here right now. Get in here. Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our lives. 30 minutes for the rest of our lives. That's our bad first half. It ain't happening. We get the ball. I promise you one thing. We're going to hit somebody and we're taking downfield for a touchdown. I guarantee you that.
Guaranteed.
Look at me. Look at me.
Let's go.
We got 30 minutes.
Let's go.
For the rest of our lives. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of DC Sports Daily. This is your host, Corey Thesson, alongside Jack Maestri again.
I'm still here.
He's still here. We got a couple things to cover. Redskins, maybe some fantasy football talk, since week 1 is now officially upcoming in a couple days. Maybe go into some Nats talk like we typically do. Any comments to start?
I just won my draft.
You won it. How do you win drafts?
How do you win a draft,
How do you win a draft? I think I win every draft, but does that mean I really did?
I won this draft. You know that I won this draft.
My
team was gold.
Yeah.
Pure gold.
And I've never...
I knew my guys. I got my guys.
You know, I've never participated in a bidding draft.
Auction
draft.
Yeah.
Never.
It's a lot of fun.
Never really understood it.
So my strategy is identify my guys, nominate as many guys that I don't want that I know other people will want, but guys who I think are going to not be as good as their cost, what they're supposed to cost, and then all of a sudden everybody loses all their money, and I still got a full bankroll.
Yeah, you did, I don't know how many rounds in, but you still had $40 to spend, or whatever.
You start with 200. I was the last person.
But everybody else had 10.
Yeah, I was the last person to spend because I wanted Ajayi as my first pick. Ajayi. And
borderline running back too. That's funny. Before we get into our today's episode.
We are already into today's episode. We started at approximately 2 minutes and 45 seconds ago.
I don't know why I always say this. But apparently Strasburg just got hurt.
Yep. Calf cramped, it looked like.
Again. Ezekiel Elliott's suspension was upheld, which I totally thought that meant there was no suspension. But for some reason he's playing in game 1. But that benefits us, because he'll miss our first game against him, because his suspension will start in week 2, and we play them in week...
So why is he allowed to play week 1?
I don't understand it at all. I just saw the breaking news when it originally came out said the judge upheld it, but he will be on the field week 1. How does that make sense? And they're playing the Giants, which is a really big game. That shouldn't be allowed. Is that part of an appeal process?
So, all this news is just now coming out.
Right.
13 minutes ago, Chris Mortensen said Ezekiel Elliott's 6-game suspension has been upheld by Harold Henderson per source.
Elliott will play Sunday against the Giants. Judge will rule by 5 p.m. Friday on the injunction. I have no idea. But... Oh, just kidding. He returns for the Redskins game because we play them in week 9. Here. I forgot about that.
There's a bye week, but this is all very confusing.
Yeah, it is. I still don't really agree with it. I love that he's being punished for something that there's no evidence against, but
there is evidence.
Well, there's evidence, but the charges were dropped. So
what charges were dropped?
His domestic abuse. This whole suspension was for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the charges are still there.
No, they were dropped, I'm quite certain.
No, you're thinking of the headline that says NFL makes motion to dismiss Zeke case? Because I just read that headline. What they mean is to dismiss the NFLPA's appeal.
Oh.
Their petition.
I thought the woman came out and dropped everything against him. Because that was the whole fuss. How there was no evidence against him and they were still going to suspend him. I don't know. whatever.
I mean, she sent pictures to TMZ
Yeah.
of her bruised body.
Yeah.
And I don't know, dude, it's
a complicated situation.
It is. I mean,
I'm happy that he's getting suspended because he's on the Cowboys. That's the end.
And because even if there's a 1% chance that he actually did what
he deserves,
he's accused of, like, yeah, it's unacceptable.
Even if the charges were dropped, he's still.
The charges are not dropped.
Okay. But yeah, besides the fact is he's going to be suspended regardless, so that helps.
Honestly, we have no idea what's going to happen. This was just news that came out.
Yeah.
Bucks and Dolphins have to move their game
due to the new
Hurricane Irma.
Yep. Category 5.
Yeah, they're saying
ever.
It could be a Category 6 if they need to create a new category. That's terrifying.
Yeah, so I was right. According to ESPN, on September 7th, Ezekiel Elliott of Dallas Cowboys won't face charges in his alleged domestic incident.
Yeah, legal charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's separate from the NFL's
rules.
The NFL's case.
Right.
The NFL's case is a private one.
Right. And
they have the right to rule on it regardless as per the collective bargaining agreement.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, the NFL suspended him 6 games. A court of law didn't say, oh, well, we're not going to put you in jail, but you can't play football for 6 games.
Right. Anyways, moving on. Elliott's getting suspended regardless. I don't know why he can play game 1. I guess we'll figure it out and come back to you guys.
Where did you see that he's going to be on the field for game 1?
Multiple reports.
Does that mean 2 tweets?
No. First, Mike Fisher alerted earlier today. Courtroom source, Judge Mazant just asked NFL if Elliott is on field for the Cowboys this week, even if Henderson rules against or upholding his suspension, and the answer was yes. That was the first report. And then there's multiple reports now on the timeline. Zeke still can get a TRO from a court judge, could rule by Friday, and Zeke could still be playing this week, no matter what. Okay. So regardless, that'll have an impact on the Cowboys. So that kind of gives me less worries about the Redskins, no matter what. There were new developments in the Suet Cravens situation where Jay Gruden, Trent Williams, a couple of other players, I'm not sure, Kirk Cousins was one of them, came out and said that if Suet Cravens can figure it out, they would welcome him back to the team with open arms, which I completely agree with. But I still think your comments yesterday about how he can't come back to D.C., I think that's just how it's going to be. You can't start all this, and I mean, sure, we can say all we want for the media, but do you think the players really want him back the way he asked out?
I don't know. I mean, it's a tough situation. It's hard to tell what the problem is. I think that's the issue.
Does anybody really know?
I think he does, and that's it. And honestly, if it is something private going on, he has his right to privacy.
Yeah.
But there's going to be gobs of media blowback when you try to maintain your privacy when you are somebody who's in the public eye.
In the limelight.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's a weird situation. I mean, I'm happy that the players have said, that they'd welcome him back. I mean, because honestly, the comments coming out of the Redskins locker room haven't always been the
nice guy.
Yeah, the right things to say. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still just up in the air on the whole situation.
Mm-hmm. So, other news in D.C. or Ashburn, Chris Thompson got his second contract,
which is awesome.
Pretty cool.
Love that guy.
He always had questions coming into the league. I saw a story he posted it and said, everybody wanted to doubt me out of college. I broke my back one year, then I tore my ACL in back-to-back years, and all the agents didn't want me. I got one agent to give me a call, and then I got drafted by the Redskins immediately, hurt something in my shoulder, got an injury, and everybody thought that I wouldn't even make a team. Everybody was saying I'd be practice squad maybe at some football team Redskins took a chance. He ended up becoming a good special teams player for us. And then after the special teams, he's become an extremely versatile weapon out for us. And I think he's just going to continue to get better for us. And with Rob Kelly, I mean, Fat Rob's going to be good the first second down, obviously. But the way we've been running the ball, I feel like we need more of a versatile guy like Chris Thompson coming out of the backfield, catching the ball, whatever. Speed kills.
Speed does kill. I mean, he's a great third down option. Great change of pace from Rob Kelly. He's really a shove it down your throat kind of guy. Thompson's more of a shake and bake, make you miss kind of guy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good combination. Plus, he's a great guy. He's reliable if Kelly needs a blow or if Kelly gets hurt. Because I love, kind of the potential that we have with Samaje Perine and Mac Brown. But they're still unknown entities right now.
Right.
We don't know exactly what we're getting from them. We don't know how they'll produce. We don't know how they'll perform under pressure. Chris Thompson has been a consistent option for us since he's been here. And he's shown that he's just here to win. He loves this team. He loves this city, and he'll do whatever the role requires of him. So, perfect guy to have in the lineup. Great move. That's a really good extension. Because that's somebody he's obviously invested in your team. He's invested in this city.
Right.
He's invested with the guys in the locker room. It's nice to have the front office return the favor and say, hey, we believe in you just like you believe in us. So,
2-year deal. I think he gets like $6 million guaranteed from here on, so that's good. Anything else Redskins related that we want to talk about? Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins says
he all of a sudden is Tim Tebow.
He says that God told him to sign a 1-year deal. Okay, so God told you to get the most money possible. Essentially, is what you're telling me. You know what? Good for you. God's been telling me to do the same. I'm still not making anything. Maybe next year God will tell him to get a 5, 6, 7-year deal with us for $15 million a year.
I'm going to start calling his house every night, and just go, "Hey, Kirk, this is God
speaking. Take the least amount of money."
Well, no, I gotta make him believe it's me. It's like, "Hey, Kirk, this is God. Go buy yourself a new TV today. You deserve it." He'll be like, "Oh, God told me to get a new TV." "Hey, Kirk, this is God. Go buy a Rolls Royce. You deserve it." "Oh, man, this is awesome. God's the man." And then next year, I'll pull the fast one on him. "Hey, Kirk, this is God. You've had enough nice things.
Take 10
Please sign the league minimum contract for 10 years.
Nothing grinds my gears more than that situation, the contract situation with Kirk, because you look at guys like Tom Brady, who's taken $13 million when he's won continuous championships, bringing parades to New England.
Yeah, but he's made his money.
Speaking of Boston, good Lord. Are you surprised that they got caught cheating? Not me. I don't know if it's proven that they got...
What?
The Red Sox were caught supposedly stealing signs from the Yankees with an Apple Watch. I don't know how that's possible. But
did you read the article?
No, I didn't read it. Did you?
No?
Yeah, but
where did you see it? The
ESPN,
Onion?
No, ESPN reported it. Multiple sources. I don't know why you never believe me when I talk about these sources.
Because your news stories are ridiculous.
It's real. You can even look at...
You got to admit, you've had some weird stories today.
You can also look at... Pardon My Take talks about it. Multiple sources have talked about it today. New York Times. The Red Sox were caught using an Apple Watch in the dugout to steal signals from the Yankees. Bam.
Yeah. I see. That's something that if I read that headline, I would then read the article, because that's something I need to know how they did it. That's just how I am.
Just doesn't surprise me.
So that I could actually talk about it.
A Boston team were to do that, since the New England Patriots are so known for cheating. Of course. They probably got it out of Bill Belichick's book. Don't know how you would use technology to steal signs. Doesn't make any sense.
Commissioner Rob Manfred confirmed Tuesday that the Boston Red Sox used electric communication from the dugout to steal opponents' signs and relay them to Boston players during games.
Yep.
So, Manfred said there's actually no